I'm good. Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you so much for joining me on.
No problem.
Cheers to you.
Yeah, cheers.
Okay, so it's my seventh episode of Cuppa and Natter. I can't believe it already. But I'm honestly so happy for you to be joining me. So thank you very much. I think it's fair to say one of the biggest talents in GB athletics right now. Born in America, you grew up in Jamaica and moved over to the UK at the age of 7. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's all right.
And then obviously your athletics career has gone from strength to strength, especially since 2016, competing in the World and European Indoor and the World and European Outdoor Championships, as well as the Commonwealth Games. You've been very busy. But also, I love this. You're a professional hair and makeup artist. I love it.
Yeah.
So you're multi-talented. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I hope that this next half hour is going to be really good fun.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, Emily. Really excited.
So I guess what everyone wants to know from all of my guests on Cuppa and Natter is how they like their tea. Okay, so I'm going to ask you 5 quick fire questions, and you're just going to tell me the answer if that's all right.
Sure, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. So question number 1: breakfast tea or herbal tea?
Herbal tea.
You're my first guest to say that, you know. I'm not surprised.
Am I?
Yeah. Um, what is your tea of choice then? What's your herbal tea of choice?
So I love a peppermint tea. That's my favourite. And I've got a peppermint tea now because I'm a bit caffeine sensitive. So yeah, I try not to have any caffeine after like 4 o'clock.
Peppermint tea it is. Okay. Okay, so with your accompaniment with your peppermint tea, bourbon or a custard cream?
Oh, it's got to be bourbon.
Okay. So me and
Yeah.
actually, I asked my mum this question, and I'm a big custard cream lover, and she went bourbon. So you join in.
Okay. Yeah, I've got to get
Um,
my chocolate fix.
I hear you. And also, okay, so I'm assuming that you've had an afternoon tea before, an experience. Do you prefer the food, so like the cakes or the sandwiches, or the drinks, so like the teas?
I've got to say the cakes. Yeah,
Yeah,
cakes and sandwiches, the food for sure.
that type of girl, I tell you, I couldn't agree more. I go to the afternoon tea purely for the cakes, not the tea. And final question: is your tea tasting better when you make it for yourself or when other people make it for you?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a hard
Do you know,
one.
I'm not too fussy, so I would probably say it probably tastes better when I make it for myself, but I enjoy other people making me a cup of tea, so it's just a bit easier, isn't it?
That's fun. It's interesting, like when you're on the sofa and you just can't be asked to move, and someone says, "Would you like a cup of tea?" Well, of course, it's a no-brainer, right?
Of course, yeah, of course.
Well, there we go. I think my first Cuppa and Natter guest who prefers herbal tea. So cheers to you, Adelle Tracey.
Cheers.
Okay, now I hope you don't mind. So I've already pre-warned you that I ask my Cuppa and Natter guests 3 questions, okay? And my first question actually comes from Thursday's Cuppa and Natter guest, hockey royalty, power couple, Kate and Helen Richardson Walsh, okay? And they would like to know what your very first ever medal or trophy was within sport.
So I think my and I think it was actually a trophy, was a cross country race that I did for my school, and I must have been about 11 because I think it was just after I joined my local athletics club. And I remember the reason why I remember it actually is because I didn't realise that I'd won. Because I think like when you're younger, you just do mixed races all the time, and you don't normally kind of split into girls and boys. So I was just racing, and I finished the race, and I couldn't understand why my teachers were so excited at the end because I just won the under 13 girls race. But I was thinking I haven't won the whole race. So I remember it not being I'm not being that proud of my first trophy or medal.
I mean, that sounds amazing. I always think, I remember those dreaded times. I do apologise for admitting this, but when I used to do cross country at school, I hated it But I used to be so jealous of all the people that used to be so good at it, and it was people like yourself.
Yeah, not so much anymore. I'm much more conditioned to the middle distances for sure.
Well, I suppose that kind of moves me on nicely, okay, to my next question. So, obviously, from that answer, it was very apparent that you were hugely talented within, you know, athletics and running from a young age. In 2009, you were the European Youth Olympic silver medalist. The following year, in 2010, you were the English schools champion in 800 metres. And then in 2012, aged just 19, you were nominated by Dame Kelly Holmes herself as one of 7 of the torchbearers for the 2012 Olympic Games opening ceremony. Now, I guess I just want to hear all about this. So, can you describe that feeling, like when you found out that you'd been nominated by Dame Kelly Holmes, you know, one of the most successful athletes this country has ever produced? And also with that, obviously, that moment on the 27th of July 2012, being part of the Olympic opening ceremony, such a historic moment of sporting history.
Gosh, yeah, I think the overall kind of feeling is just like surreal. Even now, like when I think about it or even like watch it back, it doesn't really feel, it feels a bit like dreamlike. Yeah, like to be recognized by someone like Dame Kelly Holmes, especially for my event as well. I mean, she's such a legend that was just incredible in itself. But yeah, to be kind of part of that whole experience with 6 other young volunteers and athletes and stuff was really nice, because I think if it had just been sort of one of us, it would have maybe come with a little bit of pressure, but it was just so much fun. And yeah, the fact that we kind of got that responsibility, and it kind of was there to kind of inspire the next generation. Yeah, it's really special, and just, yeah, a nice kind of piece of history almost.
I just think, I mean, speaking personally, I'm a big sports lover. And I even remember that moment and thinking, wow, what a special thing for us to do. No other nation had thought to, you know, inspire the next generation such a big part, especially of the opening ceremony. And I guess, did you even like consider at that moment how big a thing that actually was? Or, you know, when did
No.
it sink in at that moment?
Um, I think probably when I watched it back, because like when you're actually in that moment, you kind of, we all had little headsets in our ears and we were kind of going through our choreography, trying to remember it, and it just kind of flies by. And actually, I think the moment where we got to actually just light the cauldron and watch all the flames go up, that was really special. But then watching it back, you kind of realize the enormity of it all. So yeah, I don't think I've even really processed it now, to be honest.
It's quite a big responsibility, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
lighting. I mean, I probably would have, you know, fallen up the steps or dropped it or something. But I mean, hats off to you. You did a brilliant job.
Thanks. No, I was actually really worried that I was gonna not be able to light my torch, because you have to like turn on the gas canister in the torch
Right.
before they can like pass the like fire along. So I was like, in practice, I think a few times I didn't turn on the gas, so it just didn't light up. So I think that was like my biggest worry on the night, that it just wasn't even gonna happen.
That could have been your fame ending before it even started, not being able to light the gas canister. But I mean, hats off. Obviously, did a phenomenal job, and I'm sure that that video is something that you'll be able to watch over and over again, and it never get boring, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like I've only watched it like 3 times, I think, but every time I've watched it, it's felt like really special. So yeah, I'm sure when I'm old and grey, it'll be a nice thing to look back on.
Unbelievable. I mean, yeah, and I suppose it's one of those things. So you being one of the 7, you know, to try and look to the future of elite sport and Olympic sport within our country. I kind of want to put it into perspective for novice runners at how good you actually are. So I don't know whether you're aware of this, but you actually hold the Cheltenham Park Run 5K record at a first time of 16 minutes 58. I mean, I could only dream that is outrageous. Okay, and obviously you park runs along the way. I feel like you've competed, as I said, since 2016. You've competed in pretty much every single athletics major sporting event that you can do. You've reached the semi-finals of the World Championships. You've reached the final of the European Championships, in the championships that you set your PB in. And I guess it's probably an obvious question, but the final piece of your athletics jigsaw is the Olympic Games, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think kind of, yeah, I think that's what everyone aspires to kind of compete at. It's like the kind of the greatest achievement you can to become an Olympian. So yeah, I'm kind of looking ahead to next year now. And yeah, I think as well, because I've been part of the Olympics in the torchbearing, it's kind of made me really want to kind of be there on my own merit and be an Olympian as well. So yeah, hopefully next year will be the year.
It's kind of like it'll be a weird like circle, won't it, really, that you had that experience in 2012 and then hopefully, you know, you come that whole circle in, fingers crossed, in Tokyo when you're competing. But kind of talking of Tokyo and obviously the postponement of the games, how has your training like altered in terms of training during lockdown, and how have you found that?
Yeah, so like obviously I've just kind of, being a 800 runner, middle distance runner, I do a lot of my training sort of on my own anyway. So when it comes to just, I'm quite fortunate that I can still train, I can still run. I think there's a lot of sports. I mean, I don't know how you're coping, Emily, obviously if you're a team sport or you rely on facilities. I can imagine that'd be really challenging. So I feel actually really just grateful that I am able to just go out the door and run. We've just tried to like maintain rather than like build and like get really sharp, because obviously you can't see physios at the moment. So it's just kind of keeping yourself in a good nick, and just trying to maintain that fitness that I built at the beginning of the year. So it's really about looking ahead to next year. I know that IAAF have kind of said that there's no qualifying times this year, which I think is kind of a fair rule for a lot of athletes, because everybody's going to be in a different situation. Some people will be in lockdown for longer than others. So it kind of makes sense. So yeah, it's just kind of maintaining and building towards next year, really.
How have you found it in terms, so I'm speaking on my personal perspective as well, like in terms of I'm focusing on the maintaining aspect of my training right now. It's not like trying to make PBs or trying to, you know, reach ridiculous heights that you can't sustain. But how have you found it in terms of motivation and maintaining your motivation, knowing that, you know, you're initially training for an Olympic Games in a couple of months' time, but actually now it's being postponed, and obviously it's apparent at how, you know, busy your athletic schedule is going to be over the next few years. How's it kind of been in terms of maintaining that motivation as well as your training?
Yeah, like I think motivation like changes day to day. I'm sure like you know that as well. Like and it's just literally just going through the motions sometimes. Like sometimes, you know, you don't feel like going out because it's kind of like what am I getting ready for? But I think just making yourself get out the door and getting it done is, you know, as good as you can do really at the moment. But definitely feel like more motivated since the announcement was made. It was really difficult in that time where you didn't know what was going on, and you're trying to like kind of stay as fit as you possibly could, because you think like March, April for me is like kind of a really key time to sharpen up and get ready to come out in May. So it was like I was actually quite fit, and you just don't want to kind of overcook it really. So it's challenging, probably more challenging for my coach than it is for me. I kind of just do what I'm told, but yeah.
I was going to ask that actually, if you've been in contact with your coach, because you're probably used to seeing your coach, you know, pretty much every day, and now obviously in current times, have you seen your coach recently, or how do you keep in contact?
No, I haven't seen him in person, but I've seen him pretty much every other day on WhatsApp call. Yeah, we've just been video calling. Like, I think everyone's been doing the same thing. And then with my S&C coach as well, he's kind of adapted my training program so that I can do things with a chair in the living room instead of, deadlifting or whatever. So it's been good actually. It's been like we've learned to adapt and be a bit creative. Yeah, we're just kind of getting by.
Well, I think adapting is key, isn't it? And actually, it's probably a good learning for everyone. And it definitely sounds like you're in a positive place. Your training's going well. So, as I said, fingers crossed that final jigsaw of your repertoire in terms of athletics events happens next summer. I'm sure it will. But yeah, pleased to hear that all is going well your end. Now, I hope you don't mind my next part. I've got a few social media questions, if you don't mind. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I've got a lot to thank social media for, because I received quite a few questions that I actually want to find out myself. Okay. So, first of all, Sophie on Instagram, thank you so much. I've always thought of this question. Okay, as an athlete, what do you think about on the start line before your race? Like, what goes through your head? Like, I've always thought that. So, Sophie, thank you for asking.
Do you know what? Like, I think at that point, I probably just have like a little bit of self-talk, just like, okay, we're just gonna get on with this now. Because by that point, like, you're probably the most relaxed you can be because there's no going back. You're about a second away from from running an 800. So, yeah, I think I tend to tell myself, yeah, just like enjoy it and yeah, just go with it, sort of thing.
So I'm not gonna lie. The 800 meters looks dreadful. Like, it looks like serious pain. You're literally sprinting round the track twice. If you stood on the start line knowing that this is going to be painful, like, how do you talk yourself out of it?
I don't know. It's weird. Like, I know a lot of people associate 800, 400, just like lactic, full stop, as being really painful. But I actually think that all you got to do is just run as hard as you can. And, once you hit lactic, there's not much you can do. So it's just maintaining. Whereas if I was to run a 1500 or a 5K or something longer, that to me, that's when I'm thinking about the pain, because you're in pain, but you can still keep going.
I've got the time to prove that 5Ks do not worry you in the slightest. Hats off to you all. I honestly think athletes are a different gravy in terms of their training. Sounds horrendous. And then obviously when you get into competition, it looks horrendous. It must feel horrendous. So I've got a lot of respect for you. I'm in awe of your calmness on the start line. I don't think we would have the same mantra with that. But Sophie, I hope that answers the question. Okay, question from Molly on Instagram. So she wants to know, did you compete in any other athletics events growing up? And why did you choose 800 meters to focus on?
So I did everything when I first joined my athletics club when I was 11. I did a high jump, I did sprints, you name it, I did it. But I was just really bad at field events. Like, just, it wasn't for me. I wasn't in my element there. And I actually wasn't too bad at running quite fast, like sprinting. I was naturally quick, and I think that's kind of where my coach at my club kind of was like, oh, you can run cross country and you can run quick, so maybe we should go middle distance. So I started running 600s originally, because I think under 13 you can't run 800. And then when I got to under 15s, started running 8s and 400s, and yeah, just found my event really.
And the rest is history, I guess. So it's really interesting. So obviously I'm a bit of a novice. Is that the normal thing to do then when you join an athletics club, that you can try all the events you want and kind of then find the niche, event that you want to go into?
Yeah, definitely, because I think there's a lot of young athlete leagues where they want to get different points in different events and everyone to kind of try everything. So that was really good for me actually, because I think then I found what I enjoyed more and what I was better at. And Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. Like just immerse yourself in as many different sports as well. Because I think I did dance until I was about 15 as well. So it's a little bit cross training for you too. Because like when you're younger, you don't do weights and stuff, but it's good to just stay active. And like I know loads of my friends play football and stuff as well. So if you can do loads of different sports, then that's good for your main sport as well.
I couldn't agree more. I actually, Gay Lems, who was one of my guests a couple of weeks ago, she said exactly the same in terms of growing up, being able to play different sports or do different activities. Actually, that's the best thing that you can do at that age. And actually, like athletics have it spot on in terms of being able to do both track, field, and then obviously your dancing expertise. What could have been? But I'm sure that probably helped with your athletics as well. So yeah, there we go, Molly. I hope that answered your question. Okay, this is a very good one. So Jamie, thank you very much. Jamie wants to know if you could run a relay with 3 other Team GB athletes, okay, it could be male or female, who would they be and why? Okay, so this is your captain, Adelle Tracey is captain of this relay team. Who are they going to be running alongside you?
Ooh, and I'm guessing, is this like a 100-meter relay, like a standard relay, or 400?
You know, he didn't specify. So you could even do a relay for the short distance and then a maybe longer relay team. We can have 2.
Okay. So I'm gonna go for Shalane Oscan-Clark. She's an 800 runner as well, and I feel like she'd run a good 400, so she could be in the 400-meter relay. And then I would go for Ellie Baker. It's another 800 girl who could probably run a very good 400 as well. And my training partner, Kira Everard, she's an Irish 800-meter athlete. Okay. So yeah, that would be my dream team.
And can I ask where you're positioning yourself in this relay? Do you go for glory on the first leg? Do you start the girls off strong and go first? Where would you position yourself?
I'm going to back myself and put myself on the last leg, only because I love a challenge, and I'm good at chasing down. So I feel that would be good for the anchor leg.
You're not trusting the girls to get in first position before that final changeover, but you're sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So relay number 1, I think that sounds like a strong team. What about relay number 2? Maybe the shorter distance.
Ooh, I think you would have to go for some of the sprint girls. So definitely Dina Asher-Smith for sure.
I think you'd be
yeah. And I would go for Asher Phillips and Bianca as well. So I think, yeah, that would be a really good treat, really good team.
Okay, and where are you positioning yourself in that relay team?
Oh gosh, I mean, I'm definitely not a 100-meter runner, so I would probably say somewhere in the middle, just to, yeah, try and maintain.
Would you put yourself before Dina, so then Dina can sort you out after?
Yeah, maybe third leg, and then she could go on the last leg for sure.
To be fair, no, Tokyo 2021, if we call it that, you could be in the 4x1 relay and you could have me to thank for it. So you never know.
Well, I don't know about that, but.
Okay. If it's okay, got one more question, slightly different from Ava on Instagram. Now, I love this. Okay, I follow you on social media and I love your makeup tutorials in particular. What is the beauty product that you could not live without? It's a hard question.
I'd probably say moisturizer. I know that's really boring, but like, yeah, I just get so dry. I just feel like I'd be like a reptile without my moisturizer.
My skin's getting so dry. I don't know whether that's because I'm spending so much time in the sun right now, but I feel you. Moisturizer is key.
Yeah, definitely.
And any particular brand? So,
Mm,
so Ava can jump on the bandwagon.
Weleda Skin Food is great.
Oh, I haven't heard. Where can I find them?
Yeah, yeah, Weleda, and then the moisturizer that's amazing is Skin Food because you can use it on your body and your face as well, so it's really nice.
Oh, amazing. Okay, well, Ava, hook yourself up and let Adele know what you think of it. So, yeah, good top tips. Well, thank you very much. I learned a lot there. And now, okay, so we're nearly up on the 30 minutes. Okay, my tea is very nearly empty. I'm not sure about yours. Yeah.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got one more thing to ask of you, if that's all right. So
Cool.
now I'm giving you the power, okay? And I would like you to think of the question, my first question that I'm going to ask my Cuppa and Natter guest on Thursday. Okay, so it can be anything. So make it a good one. Over to you.
Oh, pressure.
Is it?
I think I'd be interested to know, because I always like to hear about what athletes do off the track or outside of their sport, what they think they would what dream job they would be doing if they weren't an athlete.
Oh, that is a very good question. What, what would your answer be?
Oh, I think I would love to well, I don't think I've got the talent, but I think it would be a really fun job to be in like the West End, something like that, be in musicals all the time.
Oh, I love. You know what? I'm a big fan of West End musical. I love the theatre. Have you got a favourite? What
Yeah.
musical do you see yourself in?
What kind of musicals? Oh gosh. I absolutely love Billy Elliot, but obviously I don't know where I would fit in there. That's one of my faves.
You've got your dance expertise. You could slot right into Billy Elliot.
Yeah, I don't know about them. They're a bit out of date, Emily.
No, never. I back myself in Wicked purely for that's. Have you seen Wicked?
Yeah, absolutely love it.
Okay, defying gravity. That moment right there. I can't sing. Like I'm the worst singer in the world. But if I could, and I could be on the West End for one scene, it'd be that just belting out defying gravity. I'd back myself.
I hear you. I 100% hear you there. Great
Yeah,
one.
you wouldn't be able to hear after I've sung it because I'd be that burst your eardrums. But I'm okay. Interesting. I don't actually know the answer to that question. If I was answering, to be fair, yeah, I don't know. Maybe a PE teacher. I always used to want to be a PE teacher when I was at school. But I mean, we'll soon find out what Thursday's guest who that will be, and also what job they would be doing if they weren't an athlete. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see too.
Okay, well, I won't hold you any longer. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. I've learned a lot. I think you've given some invaluable advice. Not forgetting, obviously, the makeup tips as well. The moisturiser, I'll definitely be looking at that. But yeah, so my next guest, we know the first question that they're going to be asked, but my next guest will be revealed on Wednesday at 5 p.m. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, in the meantime, keep that kettle boiled, keep nattering using hashtag Cuppa and Natter. And Adelle Tracey, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Emily. I've really enjoyed myself. Enjoyed my tea as well.
Good. Thank you so much. Take care. Speak to you soon.
And you.
See you later.
Later.